So, you want to play the bread and water soup game? Well, here you are. We are going to be, or rather, I am going to be showing you what a bread and water soup game is. This game, by the way, is known as Robot Alchemic Drive, and I'm sure everyone knows the infamous scene with Nanao, who looks awfully pale, and we're not really sure if she's alright. But she claims she is. She claims that she's drinking the bread and water soup before she O's and Urrs and keels over. Keels over. My bad. But I'm here to tell you how to play the Robot Alchemic Drive game because I think you should. In fact, it's no thanks to this guy on Twitter posting a lot of Robot Alchemic Drive stuff that you guys just happen to all pile into my video. I'm just getting all these comments and views on my Robot Alchemic Drive. I was just trying to do one simple thing. Let's make this very clear. All I was trying to do was have a single isolated scene of the girl character that you can choose in Robot Alchemic Drive with the Nanao bread and water soup scene, and then throwing the grenade at the very end because it was just the tradition. There was someone who uploaded the bad voice acting video, which then led to one of the other characters being shown off, and I was like, well, snap, why has it been 14 years or even 10 years since we've seen anything about the other character, right? And I was looking and looking, I couldn't find it on its own. Then after uploading this, I realized it was a Let's Play, but the Let's Play was like, you had to go find the chapter and find the minute and time and everything. So I was like, no, we need this on its own. That's the whole reason I made it, and I decided to just make it the same exact way because that's how it was done by these two other guys. So now here we are with Robot Alchemic Drive. That's what this game is called. In Japan, it's called Gigantic Drive. And you have tank controls. You literally have tank controls. If we use the D-pad, it's actually slower than using the analog stick. I'm not really sure why. But, yes, you control like a Resident Evil character going up and down and then shifting on the spot. You can actually... you can strafe left and right with L1 and R1. That's a thing you can do. You can hold circle and you'll start to fly, and you could go around on all the buildings and, do all that. And why? Why can you fly around? Well, this helps you get into a good fighting position so that you can control your robot and go crazy, right? You can also toss grenades with the triangle button. That building over, that seems a little unstable. I wonder what happens if we keep tossing. Oh!
Huh? That was my condo.
Oh! Oh! This is my first time seeing this, by the way. I literally was just showing the controls. I did not know this was gonna happen, so this just made the game even better, in my opinion.
Please, don't worry about it.
I don't know. I feel like I should. You seem very angry at me.
Oops. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just tossing grenades around, You know how we all do. We just toss grenades at... Please do not do that. That is a very awful thing to do. Don't do this. Never do this. Why would you ever do that? That's bad. The X button lets you go into a first-person view. You're probably not going to be really doing this as much, though. Just keep that in mind. And that's all we need to know for controlling your player character. So, let's get to everything. So, everything else. You have a story mode. This is where you'll be doing everything. You have a tutorial mode. I highly suggest you do tutorial mode. But I'm here to just kind of get you into the game, kind of show you how it works. Because sometimes, even if you, have a way to get this game for really cheap somewhere, maybe you just, can't convince yourself that paying however much for the game, I haven't checked how much it costs, but maybe you just can't convince yourself not to try, right? So this is my little thing for you to, see if you're interested. You have a challenge mode to replay any of the completed stages in the game, and you also have a versus mode. Yes, that actually this, and it's pretty cool that it. So, let's get into it. Let's show you how this game works. when you first start the game, you get to choose a character, choose whoever you like. You have normal and easy mode. Play on whatever you like. I think the game's not so bad on normal mode. You will deal with some stuff, but it's not a bad idea. Let's play as our plucky main hero looking person. I'm using mission mode to demonstrate things. So you get to typically choose like what mecha you want to use as well. We're actually going to go with the Lago because that one is it's really fast. It's not as strong, but it has a vehicle mode. So does the Glang, which is a very heavy and hulking mecha. It has a vehicle mode, which is helpful. And it could take a lot of hits. It can hit really hard, but it's just so slow. So you're probably going to be getting bopped a lot before you try to throw a punch. You got to think a little bit ahead. And then there's the Vavel, which is your in-between kind of mecha. This is your all-around mecha. It's definitely slower than the Laguel. It does not have a vehicle mode, but its special moves are quite powerful, especially its rocket punch. Oh wait, that's okay. You know what? We'll just use the Vavel. That's totally fine. It lets me show you a specific way. So, let's that. Also, another feature of this game is
under attack by a gigantic humanoid weapon.
wow, seriously? Oh my gosh, that is such a normal thing. The voice acting in this game is probably another one of its best features. None of the voice actors in here have actually done much. They either only did one thing or they did nothing, and they haven't done anything since after this either.
We've got a live feed from the disasters.
Yeah, so this game's voice acting is definitely a very big highlight. I literally play through this game just for the acting. That's why I first started. I wanted to play through and see, like, is this everyone or is this just those two voice actors that we see, right? No, it's everyone and everything.
The city is under attack by a towering humanoid weapon, which suddenly appeared out of nowhere. The weapon appears to be attacking indiscriminately. The city is burning. It's unbelievable. It's like something from out of a movie. Oh, something shot out of it. It blew a building apart. It's simply incredible. The eternal city is fast becoming a blazing ruin. This isn't a movie. This is real. This is reality.
This is real. This is reality. The building is burning. I should keep the same tone while saying all this. Very deadpan. Okay, so actually, there's another reason I'm showing this cutscene. In the game, it doesn't work here, but on other certain cutscenes, you can actually hold the start button and we'll fast forward. That is a thing you can do in this game. So for instance, when we're playing as our plucky hero here, if I hold the start button, it'll just go right through. You can already float from the moment you start playing.
We're supposed to meet on the train station platform.
So if I hold start, it's hard to see that it's fast forwarding, but it was fast forwarding there. It was something in the background that moved faster than normal. So here's how you really play the game. First, you want to just try to start pushing Nanao, edging her carefully off the tracks. Oh, there we go. There we go. And you win the game. You win. You've done it. You've literally won the game.
Attention, Mr. Sukiyoka. Calling Mr. Sukiyoka.
Uh-oh. Oh no, we're getting called upon. Is it because we hit Nanao?
What is going on? They're calling for you.
He's fine. Oh, also, this guy exists?
Fine. Then we will launch Vavel. Huh? Isn't it incomplete? Alchemic Drive hasn't been tested. System ignition could be dangerous.
I'm not sure which accent he's trying to do, but he's definitely trying something. All right, so how does the mecha combat function? But how do we do anything in this game, right? You get to control a mecha, apparently. You get to have big mecha battles, and things happen, and it may or may not be good. We know this is a low-budget title, but they definitely probably put their budget into the mechas themselves. And yeah, that's exactly what they did. The buildings could basically probably render on a PlayStation 1, but these mechas definitely not. Or who knows, maybe they could.
What's happening?
What's happening? Well, you know, mechas kill grandmothers. Now, that's what happened. But regardless, essentially, you control the limbs of this mecha, you control each and every limb. So let's, first things first though, get yourself into a position that you want to watch your mecha walk, because you need to be able to see. If you stand behind a building, you're not going to see it well. That's how this works. First person view, and how you start controlling it. So, if you hold L1 and then R1, that is walking. That is how you walk. So when you move, you know, the shoulder buttons, you gotta imagine those as your legs. The left shoulder button is your left leg. The right shoulder button, the right leg. If we hold R2 for the right trigger, we'll move backwards. Right, left. Left trigger for going backwards with the left leg. Right trigger for going backwards with the right leg. Same applies to your arms. Your left stick, your left analog stick, controls the arm. So if we jab it forward, then we do a jab. If we move it to the side, you know, we'll swing our arm to the side. Yes, we can hear you. Quiet. I'm explaining things. Yes, you can shoot projectiles with triangle, as you see there. And then, was it the right analog stick? Of course, lets us control those arms. So we can jab them forward. If we move the analog stick inwards from the bottom to the top, we'll do an uppercut. If we move it from top to bottom in a rotational axis, we'll do a chop essentially. Hi-ya! That's a chop, right? But what's he do? You press circle, you shoot missiles. But most of these Vulgara will typically teleport when you shoot certain projectiles, so not all the time are they going to be just going to be rockin' sock'em robot. That's what you're going to be. You can even use the D-pad to kind of reposition the torso of your robot. So right now I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe I should reposition him to kind of... Why is he moving backwards? Uh-oh. He's trying to do something. But we'll just pop him.
It's incredible.
Thanks to the news camera, we can actually see ourselves there in a very nice way. Boom! Chop! But yeah, you can, that's a thing you can do. If we press L1 and R1, we'll enter a charge stance and do a rocket punch by jabbing our analog stick forward. With this specific mecha, by the way.
I'll teach you a powerful punch.
I already did the powerful punch, so you don't need to. Actually, no. He's actually just talking about doing little was it analog stick commands, like I was mentioning. Rotate the analog stick in different directions, like doing a chop or doing an uppercut. That's basically what they're talking about. If you tip the analog stick out, swing it inwards. So think if I put my right arm and I pull right with the analog stick to the right side of it, swing it inwards towards, you know, the left, I'll do a right hook. Makes a lot of sense. And when you just play around with this, you'll just kind of figure it out. You can just swing your arms wildly, and I'm sure you'll get some stuff out of it. Hi-ya! So we need to watch ourselves here. Oh, there goes Nanao. Oh, Nanao. Never change. We can even position our torso up and down. I just did a little upwards jab. I, you know, kind of stepped in, kind of looked upwards, gave him a jab in the face. So, that's kind of the degree of control you get. You can even jump in this game. It's possible to do that. Actually, just to reiterate, the very important, the difference between normal mode and easy mode. I'm sorry, I said choose whatever you want. I should have explained easy mode is a control mode. And like I said, choose whichever one you want. I wanted to explain normal mode. I prefer that more because it gives you far more control over your robot, like moving it up and down, you know, the torso, being able to swing your arms all over the place, doing all those special moves, jumping. However, the easy mode has very, very different controls than what I just described. You will still be, well, you'll be walking in a very different way. Instead, you'll be using the D-pad to basically move forward, backward, like tank controls, right? You'll be using tank controls. You'll still be using the left and right analog stick to swing your arms around. And you'll also be doing, but instead of having simultaneous commands like how I did the rocket punch, instead you'll just press like L1, for instance. Or if you want to crouch, instead of pressing L2 and R2 together, you'll actually just press L2 itself or R2. Little things like that. It just makes some of the controls a little bit easier. So if you prefer having some slightly simpler controls and not having to use the analog sticks and the shoulder buttons pretty much exclusively almost, then, you know, that might be for you. But I'm more of a normal for the controls. It's nothing to do with the difficulty. Sorry, I made a mistake there. So let's just make that very clear. So we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you the Lagul, and you could apply some of that to the other mecha, just the controls I'm about to cover. So using Mission 2, where they actually teach, they just have it in the vehicle mode already, but when you press select to control your mecha, you can use the D-pad when you're in vehicle mode to move around, as you see. And if I remember correctly, it's also possible to, to basically change view. Oops. Uh-oh. Oof, that was embarrassing. But yeah, you could basically move around on your vehicle, and typically what I like to do, because sometimes you don't need to move yourself, I'll just position myself on the biggest roof I can get myself on, and I'll just move it, you know, on its own. And I think having the tank controls kind of helps in this game. Right now we have to wait for the cutscene, so I'm just gonna make sure you guys don't have. Okay, so now we are using the Gang, and with this one, as you see, it's this one's more of a less of a flying vehicle, more of a ground vehicle, right? And we can also make this one ride forward. Sorry. So as you see, it can't really get through here. What are we ever gonna do about that? Well, we could just go right through anyway by turning it into a mecha and stomping our way through, or we could use projectiles. Ugh! Ow. But as I was saying, let's get over here. Nice little view. We're gonna change back to vehicle mode using the square button. Gonna move ourselves forward just by holding up on the D-pad. Controls like a remote car. Remote vehicle. Oh my gosh, stop talking. So, as you know, shooting projectile, this is the next fight you have, and yeah, you can't really do much there. But we're gonna go get up. We're gonna give this guy a back in the face. This is the other, the other mecha, the very heavy one. Oh wait, are we turned around? We're turned around. He's gonna punch it. Ooh, there we go. But I will demonstrate to you guys jumping and just some of the other weird little things. Okay, man, stop that. Oh, gotta turn slowly. Let's at least knock him over. Ooh! Oh god.
Damage increased.
Okay, now that we have him knocked over, let's hold L2 and R2, press L1 and R1, and we jump. Ooh. And if we're standing in a neutral position, sometimes you jump higher, but you'll get higher jumps with the other mechs as well, the other mecha. Oops. Uh-oh, I missed it. Knocking him over. But another thing you can also do in here, if we crouch down, and then we have to, oh god, this is hard. I'll get it. Well, I kind of forgot. It's not the glong that can perform it, but if we crouch, we can do the divine uppercut. You can see there was a little bit of a rocket punch there. So some commands even require the specific state. Boom! That's why it's called the divine uppercut. Sends things flying. Alright, but that's just a little example of Robot Alchemic Drive. Gives you a bit of a more of an idea of what it's all about. Not to mention, I almost forgot, you can actually upgrade all of your mechas. You can get new weapons for it. This one does not have any weapons to develop for it, but like the Logule does, for instance. Oh, right, I already learned those all. My bad. But essentially, let's just say, you know what, I'll just go back to one of my files. There we go. So, as you see, we could unlock different techniques for it. You could even view like, oh, what is it? Throw move initiated from a crouching position. Gravity 0 is essentially like crouch down and could lift the enemy up into the air, similar like how we did that divine uppercut, up to style punch. The blast hook, energy and stored in the knuckles for launching powerful hooks. You can get all sorts of cool little things. A diving kick, you know, just really, oops, really cool stuff. And I know that it looks like it's a lot of yen that we'd have to pay just to get the ability, but you get a lot of yen in the game. Not to mention, you could even upgrade the health of your mecha and yourself, funny enough. You can even upgrade the ammo count of whatever weapons that you already carry on your mecha. And in case you forget how to do some moves, they have it right there. If you want to throw a jab, you just tap forward on the analog. You want to throw a straight punch, you know, pull back and then push forward. You want to do a chop, you rotate the analog in that way, an uppercut the opposite direction, a hook punch, reverse punch, guarding, double punch, a double screw punch, a double hook punch. They give you all the controls right here. Drill gear, power, that's right, I almost forgot. You can even change the weapons on your mecha's hands, or you could pull out some weapons, use those to really do some damage to your opponent. And as I was saying, you can also upgrade yourself. So if we go to the laboratory, you can get more health for your character. This one increases your health, raises protection, they call it. You can upgrade your run speed, something that will come in very handy. Or you can even upgrade your gravity control device, which is how you fly around. Very good to do. And as you see, on the equipment in use, I have the Nova grenades. I've upgraded the grenades, wondering just how powerful they could get. I honestly sometimes think they're maybe for just destroying buildings a little more easily if something. I'm not entirely sure what's the point of grenades other than using them on the now, but y'all know. Okay, I'm joking. But that's here and that's there. This was a Robot Alchemic Drive video encouraging you to try the game yourself. Give it a try, it's plenty of fun. It's like playing some Rockin' Sock'em Robot or using, you know, like a little remote control device and moving around an RC car, things like that. It really feels like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, especially if you want to see some more fun stuff. Robot Alchemic Drive. I would definitely be more than willing to play Robot Alchemic Drive for the channel, because it is a fun game with amazing voice acting. But regardless, like I said, like and subscribe for more.